Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How's everyone doing today? Hope you're well. Hope you've had a good few weeks. Been about 3 weeks, I think, since we connected from our last conversation, which was an awesome conversation about voting.
Yes.
And so we want to make sure we're about we're over now under a month out. I don't know what we are by days, but November 3rd, November 3rd. Be sure you get out and you vote. Go ahead.
And we should have received our ballots. I think they were supposed to be mailed out on the 5th. Today is October 6th. So check your mail this week. Make sure you've received your ballots. If you haven't, there are websites. I know one of them is where'smyballot.org. You can send an email or check into that website and see where your ballot is so you can get ready to cast your vote. It's very important. And don't wait till November 3rd to actually cast your vote or put in your ballot. Do it as soon as you can. Once you figure out who you want to vote for, all the measures and all the propositions that are on there, make sure you do your research. And you can even reach out to us. We have a couple of resources we may be able to connect you with so that you can get more information and clarity on either a proposition or even, information that will help you make the best decision that aligns the best decision that aligns with your views.
Yeah, and that's and like we said in that conversation, we're not telling you who to vote for.
Oh, no.
We are not trying to do that, but we wanted to be able to provide you with the best information to make the best decision, because it's not just on the president. There are a couple of I can't remember what you call them, but there's a couple of not amendments, but state
propositions.
Bills. Thank you, propositions. See me struggling. Help a brother out.
I didn't know struggling. I'm just looking at
Lord, gee, just see how you leave me and just leave me struggling. Or there are a couple of propositions that affect us people as color. So make sure when you get your packet that you're reading through, that you're understanding it.
Yeah,
understanding it. Understand what you're voting for. Just don't vote for anything just because somebody tells you. Look and read and see, does it fit your values?
Yeah.
Because that's what's most important, that it's your values. So November 3rd, and before November 3rd, as you should start getting these anytime soon. They should have been out on the 3rd, I think. They started mailing out on the 3rd.
I thought I said on the 5th.
Oh, on the 5th. Okay, I missed the okay. 3rd, 5th, 5th, 3rd. Well, they should be popping up at your house anytime soon.
Yeah, you should have them in your mailboxes.
Yeah, so let's get on that. Let's do early voting. I believe in this area, I've heard that the Golden One Center is supposed to be open for voting on November the 3rd. So there's no excuse. There's going to be many places, I'm sure, where you can get to vote. So let's make sure we do that. All right, cool. So today I am so excited and honored to bring up this wonderful couple. One thing that I will say, I don't have a problem with someone that's had an opportunity or an experience that's younger than me to help me or assist me. And this young man that we bringing up with his beautiful, lovely wife, as they work together, has shared a lot of information with us as we dived into starting our business. And so I am so thankful that we have this opportunity in this platform to be able to talk to them, because they just straight up ballers. They just doing the doggone thing. And we're just excited just to be in the number.
Yep.
Glory, I felt that.
One of the things too that I really like about them is that they are not afraid to get their hands dirty.
Nope.
Literally. And work.
Yes.
I'm sure they've had and seen plenty of dirt to last them a lifetime, but they are not afraid to get in there and work wherever it needs to be worked.
Yes. And then show you how to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you do the introductions this time, since I always do them. So
you always do them.
I do them. we on these word trips tonight.
I know.
It must be the couple of that extra week being off, tongue tied. Let me get some water or something.
Yeah.
Clear my palate. All right, let's go.
Well, without further ado, we would really love if you can put your virtual hands together, give us some hearts and likes as we introduce to you Bill and Mimi Kroomah.
I need some sound effects.
I was looking for the people you guys were telling all those good things about. I'm like,
that's you, player. That's you, player. Welcome to Just Moments Hour.
We're excited to have you.
We're excited to be here. Thank you.
Oh man, this is nothing but love. We are so grateful. Like I said in your intro, I just appreciate the heart that y'all have for your grind, for ministry, and that anything that you guys learn, you don't have any problem with passing on.
Right.
And we'll get deeper into that a little later. But I'm grateful. I am grateful for the connection,
for the collaboration.
Absolutely. And so I'm just glad y'all were able to take some time and share with the peoples.
Thank you.
Yes.
You guys for having us. You guys are awesome. We do follow you guys, and we definitely appreciate the opportunity. We don't take it for granted. Thank you guys so much for what you do and what you're doing. Community awareness, and just something that is near and dear to all of us is this voting thing. And you guys have been a tremendous awareness campaign. It don't matter who you vote for, but make sure you vote. Your values and things that align with what you believe in, so you can sleep good at night.
Yeah.
That's possible right now, but
no, it's important to do your part as best as you can. That's we may not be able to be in Congress or be here in the assembly or whatever, but our vote should mean something to make change. And then when we get the people in that we say we want, then we need to hold them accountable to the reasons why they said that, you should trust them to run the country or run the state or run your local government. So
that's 100%. That's 100%.
So let's talk about y'all first business. I don't know, y'all might got like 800. I don't know, but let's talk about Gifted Hands. I know we were having a conversation off mic, but we'll talk about that a little bit. But tell us, I got to talk about that COVID. But tell us a little bit about Gifted Hands, y'all.
Well, we are a full service janitorial company. We started out with just me and my husband, family owned, obviously, me and Bill doing our thing. We have just recently added on carpet cleaning onto our business. So when we first started out, we just started out with residential cleaning and commercial cleaning. And when we was doing residential, we was chasing the dollar, because when you're working for yourself, you take it. Anything coming to you. You said what? You need the bushes cut too? You know? So when we first started out, you know, we were really kind of like all over the place, but thank God for Jesus.
Hey, I see us like that again up in that was
Our niche. So.
Yeah, well, like my wife said, we first started 3 going on 4 years now.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of fed up with that whole hustle and bustle of working for somebody else and not really kind of, you know, enjoying the fruits of your labor per se. You're kind of making that one person richer, and while you over there, you know, putting in work. So we kind of, you know, there's some things that transpired that kind of catapulted us into entrepreneur full time. And so Gift of Hands was an idea that we actually, funny story is we were to start a in-home care agency. We had did all the research, we had everything ready to go, and then up to 2016, it wasn't being regulated in the state of California. So all you need is a general business license. And unfortunately, we started in 2017.
A year later.
So we were a year late, and at that time, it already had went up to $6,000 and some change for your license. So
how much before that?
Yeah, before that, we could have got in and really just went to work. But it's one of those things you didn't know. And so we were like, you know what? We had went through the hoops, got all the license and credentials we needed, and the cleaning license were one of the ones we had. So we were like, you know what? Instead of just waiting or till we get this money, let's just start a cleaning company. And there it was. So our original name was Gift of Hands In-Home Care Agency. And when stress, it's still on the records. And we just dropped, paid, I think it was 15
bucks. We dropped the
bucks.
agency and did cleaning services.
Yeah, we added $15 more, and we added the cleaning services. And so and we haven't looked back since. So yeah, that's the inception of Gift of Hands Cleaning Services Inc. So we went ahead and this is what we always tell people: just start. Right? We just started with a sole proprietor, meaning that we were the business was us, and we wasn't worried about the corporate veil. We were just trying to just get some work on our belt, get some revenue coming in, and
it wasn't going to work for the man no more.
Yeah,
right. I was impressed because, as you know, Bill, you and I talked quite a bit about this, and your research skills, man. I mean, you be digging, bro.
Right.
You be digging.
So this ain't big for nothing. Look, you got money.
but what's amazing about it, dude, is I mean, you put in hours in doing that stuff, and you share that with people that some have the mindset to take what you give them and go on, and then others, you know, that I don't know if I want to do all that. After you did, I mean, a big leg of the research work. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I think for us, the research is so important because we're first generational. Well, I won't say first generational, but first generation to do it by the book, right? So we all come from some type of entrepreneurial background where grandpa, grandma, and them, you know, had a little business going, but really didn't get into the, you know, being legit where, you know, you're either LLC or a corporation. Just kind of like a hustle where it was feeding the family, it was being taken care of. So for us, we both have that background where our family were, you know, entrepreneurs in their own right, but we were able to kind of pick up on that and go ahead and add to it, to those legacies. So for us, it was a no-brainer of us doing the research and the necessary research to make sure what we want to be. So for me and my wife, one of the main things we have to do is what do we want to do, a LLC or S corp? Once it was time to cross that bridge, but prior to then, we were just trying to work. But
Right.
once it was time for us to kind of make that decision, we was like, okay, we can go ahead and do the necessary research to figure out which route. And for us, it was important because we do have family, and long term, we would like to sell some shares in our business.
Mm.
And the research were all pointing to a corporation because you have common stock. So one of the things I found was if you do a LLC or any other entity, you will have to collapse that entity and re-resurrect it once you get to that place where you want to either sell it or bring on more partnerships. You can't do that with any other entity. So for us, it made more sense to just kind of do it all at one time because you're paying the same $800. And
Mhm.
one of the biggest things people said they don't like about the S corp is the minutes, meeting minutes.
The
For
meeting minutes.
Meeting minutes.
Oh, meeting minutes.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I don't write that neither. I don't write that.
but really, it's because it's just my wife and I. We are minority owned, woman owned. So she is the CEO. I'm the vice president. She's 51%. I'm 49%. So we set it up like that to make sure that we can take advantage of some of the federal and state contracts.
Now that's for the S corp one.
Yeah.
Doing
Well,
it that- or can you do it with the LLC too?
I think you can do it for the LLC as well because I am for federal purposes. I am like Mimi. So I have 51 and he has a 41, even though we're listed as co-owners or partners.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's set up that way to really take full advantage of the resources that's out there. And so you don't necessarily have to be an escort, but like I said, for us, it's just a research thing we did, and we figure we want to be able to bring on investors down the line once we have a good proven model that works. So we don't have to kind of, start all over again. So for us, that was very, very important. But there's no right or wrong way to do this. Our thing is start. We talk about three things on our um, uh, live, which is uh, starting, building, and maintaining. So the biggest thing is start. Once you start this thing, you can kind of figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
There's not a perfect start, unfortunately. So yeah.
No, we know that.
And one of the things that you said, Mimi, is that in the beginning you were chasing a dollar. So what happened to change from you chasing the dollar? What happened in your structure or in what you did to change that narrative?
We had to learn who we were. Us as Black, sometimes for me and Bill, we were going into places where we didn't feel like we measured up, like we shouldn't be here, So when we learned who we were and all what we were investing in ourselves, and we learned our niche as well, that's when we stopped chasing the dollar. We learned how to say no. We don't, not every phone call or not every call was necessary for us to take. I mean, we were doing, even before we learned how to do the hours and everything of cleaning, we would spend 8 hours in somebody's house because we're not half doers for one thing. And so when we go in there, we didn't know that 4 hours doing 4 hours is 8 hours, right? Of cleaning. If we did 4 hours, it's 2 people. We wasn't working off of man hours. We was doing 8 hours. That was 16 hours in somebody's house.
Right.
We were working like that tirelessly, like, dang, I don't know if we can do a couple houses like that, like that. And so, and the way we were getting treated sometimes as well by the clients too, it was too much of a liability. So as we progressed and continued to do training and things like that, we learned like, okay, now that we found our niche, we don't want to do residential. We're going to learn how to do move outs and move ins and move outs. Now we're not going to do recurring cleanings like that anymore because it's too much of a liability. You go into an empty house ain't that much of a liability. You can't steal the house, you
Right.
know. We had clients that felt like that. We literally had somebody like, where is so and so, like looking for us as we're cleaning. Like, what are you gonna do? Steal the bathroom door?
Yeah.
Oh,
But when we
Lord.
learned that, it was better for us that like, okay, now we look back at that now and like, dang. And sometimes we get some people that call sometimes and we be like, no, I'm not even gonna waste my time to give a quote for that or anything like that. We don't have to take that. Although yes, the money sound good and everything, but we're not pressed for $1 like that. And I'm not saying because we're balling or anything, but we just know some things you don't have to take all business.
Right.
And then you'll wonder to yourself, like, dang, was it worth it? I could have did without that 300. I could have did without that. Like, that was just too much.
Right.
What they say, all money ain't good money.
Right.
Ain't good money. So it's best to really learn your niche and what you want to do versus just being all over the place. And when you're all over the place, that's when you constantly chase the dollar.
Yeah. Yeah. So you learned how to narrow in and focus on what you really wanted to do.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what are some of the other business ventures that you guys are into?
Oh, we have so many ideas and
Yeah. I know I got the right person for this talk. I know I did.
I'll say something before we started the cleaning company. When we had our children, we have miracle babies. So before we had them, we didn't want to have to send them to daycare or anybody to have to watch them or anything like that. So really, I was a stay-at-home mom, and we wasn't working the best jobs like that. But God really blessed my hands, which to do hair, So I was able to do hair. And God just really blessed me with an abundance of clients where I couldn't even accept any more clients like that. And so once we started doing that, that was paying our bills and things like that, along with my husband working and things like that. But we were just really just working it out. And finally, we just really gave up and was just like, you know what? Let's just go down to the state office. When we went down to that state office, I don't know where the money came from, where the credit cards popped up at, but we paid for every little piece of license that we need down to the handyman.
Yeah.
So
Look at God.
Yeah, we were doing the in-home care agency, so we didn't know it was that last license. So we got every little piece of license that we needed, and this business came from that.
And I think one of the main things we had to do early on, if you want to make sure we answer the question, is understand that nothing we do is going to be perfect the first time around. So we have to really understand that and shift our mindset. And so once we did that, then we were able to kind of understand what entrepreneurship in essence really is. You really having this idea to start multiple businesses, right? So if you look at that definition of that word, is you operating or running multiple businesses, right?
Yeah.
So for some reason, I don't know why we think we're only restricted to one. We're not. So I'm not going to give you details, but there's 4 sectors that we will be branching into over the course of 5 years. That is our plan. We want to get into the hair industry, hospitality, and definitely the home medical.
Okay.
Because we feel those sectors where it will be able to help. So Gift the Hands Cleaning Services Inc. was the first business that we are just kind of dedicating our time, our effort, our sweat, everything to. So one of the things I would say, Robert Kiyosaki, he has this quadrant he talks about. It's a 4 side. The first one is employee. You come down as self-employed. You come over to the right side is business owner, and then the last one is investor. So you literally have to work to be a well-rounded entrepreneur. You have to work all 4 of those, right? So you start as the employee, right? Because essentially we are employees of our business. We pay ourselves, write ourselves paycheck, goes through payroll, we get paid, right? So we are employees. And then on the other side, right, we're still self-employed as we're working that. So we want to get to the other side where we become business owners, where we then now have employees. We have a ran business where we're able to scale and being able to help others along the way, provide for their family, right? And
Right.
then become the investor. So once we become the investors, then we're able to buy other companies or uh, start other businesses because we have perfected that system. So we're not in a rush right now, but we do have it on paper.
Very
And
good.
sorry, the fourth one is what we do with our the work hour. So that's just one leg of it. We have an overall vision that we want to do it globally to be able to help people in third world countries. I mean, everywhere.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow.
Being able to help people start businesses. My wife and I do believe that entrepreneurship is the great equalizer, right? What that means is that's the only thing you can do to be able to put yourself in a better position, opposed to just constantly working for somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
You will put in that time. Why not bet on yourself?
Right. Right.
Just saying.
I love it. I love it. I love all those quadrants that, we haven't put it on paper, but we're kind of going in
Some
that
stuff on the
same,
board though, but
yeah,
It's
we're in that same vein. And we are a huge proponent of writing the vision to make it plain. So you got to write it down so that you can see it in front of you, so you can run after it and run after it with more insight and education, because you always have to keep yourself educated on the things as they change. Just like I'm sure you have to continue to stay educated on maybe the different cleaning solutions or techniques that are out there for your gifted hand. So I really love that aspect of the quadrants of moving from employee to business owner to investor. And I missed one.
Employee, and so it's employee, self-employed, which is your
Self-employed.
professional type thing where you are the business directly.
Yeah,
And then
love
over to the business owner where you actually now owns that business and owns the employees, and that's the goal. Because my
Yes.
wife and I, one of the things too, we did the corporation. It was better for us because we knew long term we don't want to be working in this thing.
Right.
We want to start it, we want to build it, and then we just want to work on maintaining it. And we want to be able to. I have a very ambitious goal. My wife wants to piggyback off of my goal. I told you, gotta get your own, sis. So in the next 5 years, I want to be fully retired as it relates to.
This is I'm sorry. Mimi face like what?
When he retires, I'm done too.
I feel like, man, you got to put in work, too. Yeah.
Don't finish, man. I'm sorry. That was funny. It was like,
You didn't put in on
I'm
this.
done.
But when we tell people that, they don't see no logic behind it because our mindset is work till you're 65, 70.
right.
I can't understand
Work till
that.
you die,
Because
period.
if I say I'm a Christian, which I am a believer of Jesus Christ, and he is a creator himself, and
Yeah.
we made in his image after his likeness, right there, Michael Day. There's no way I should be over here living somebody else's vision.
Right.
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 I like Dr. Miles Monroe.
I got to keep that. Living somebody else's vision, huh?
Okay.
I love Dr. Miles Monroe, rest his soul, but he talked about how we all have this tree that's in this seed that's we all possess he loved mangoes. I love mangoes too. He said that nobody goes to or comes to that mango tree just for the tree. He said it comes for the fruit. And it made sense because when you looked in the Bible, it talked about when Jesus cursed that fig tree because that tree had one job to do, produce.
Mm-hmm.
He got to it and it wasn't producing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you know what, you're fired right there on the spot.
Yeah, right. You're right, Bill.
So for me, when you read the Bible, it's like, what Bible are we reading? He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. That's not in heaven. That's down here, right?
Right.
He's rich in houses and in land. That's not in heaven. That's down here.
That's
So
right.
we, sons and daughters are kings, sit in high places with him. Why aren't we living within our privilege? And so for us, we really just have to sit back and look at everything from a biblical perspective, make it
Mhm.
a peaceful thing, to then understand that, you know what, God wants more for us.
Right.
Yes.
He has gifted us and given us talents and certain things that we have that we can, we have greatness inside of us. And so it takes us trying to uh, push it out by helping one another and by discovering what you have. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, and I think your last statement, it's what's in us that ends up producing what comes out of us.
Right.
So you have to already have something in you, or work on building what's in you to be produced out of you. And so I wanted to talk about this other thing, but because you said that, and now you got us all in theology and stuff. I want to talk about fear and failure, because that's one of those things sometimes that people, when it's you starting out, you have one trip up and that's it. You allow fear to stop you from greatness. And I don't know if I told this in one of our just moments or the other things that I do. But I remember when I was thinking about starting a business, and I allowed and I ain't gonna, because that's not my enemy, that's my brother, but I was allowing the enemy to use him to talk into my ear from starting a business, probably about 15 years ago. And I was doing the work already. I was already doing the work. All I needed to do was take where I lived and set it up where I could do the work from home and make the money for myself. And I let him talk me into, there's other companies that do this. You don't want to, everybody's doing that. They got their own cars and stuff with they plates on them and stuff. You just gonna be this little business. And I allowed fear to make me fail. So there's a difference in you fail and you say, okay, that didn't work out. I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna dust myself off, and I'm gonna keep on pushing. But when we put fear, when we mix fear in there, and God has not given us a spirit of fear. So it's where are you running out of from the inside? What's your drive? What's your mode? Is it going to be okay? I didn't make it. I messed up. Or are you going to allow fear to continue to put you in the back and do as you both said, continue to work till you 65 and get somewhat of a pension, and then just I don't know, end up somewhere. I don't know where, but end up somewhere. So you messed up with throwing scripture. I know, see, messing with you all the time. See, but talk about failure, and if you can mix understanding of fear in there, go for it. Don't preach too hard though, but y'all, don't y'all preach too hard. But go ahead.
Come on, Pastor and First Lady.
Oh, wow.
My pastor and first lady is Dr. Davis and that's a big
phenomenal job.
Awesome job. Shout out to them.
Yes.
You're pastor and first lady of the Kroma home.
Okay.
Okay.
We can do that.
But still, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I need it. I'm just
You
joking.
got it. You got it.
But it's so much you can say about that. Fear and failure. A lot of people, it scares them away. One big thing with fear and failure is that people are scared to lose money. And starting out with entrepreneurship, they're scared to lose money, and they're scared to use money. But I have a saying in the Kroma household that money don't make money. So you can't be scared and trying to make money at the
I
same
heard
time.
you say that too.
Say that one more time for the people in the back.
Scared money don't make money.
Boom.
We can't be scared. We cannot be scared. And there's been many of times, the good thing about me and Bill is that we work together well. A lot of people can't work with their spouse like that. So there's been a many of days where we starting this business, we've had our fears where, okay, we done lost out on money, marketing and things like that, websites and stuff like that, where we have, okay, I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to play this game anymore. Let's
Right.
go and be done. Like rainbow hiring, like times like where you want to do that, and we have to pep talk each other like, no, we ain't gonna be, we can't get down like that, or allow fear to creep in, because when fear creep in, it's a whole different monster you have to deal with, and to pick yourself back up from there, it can be hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I was just going to piggyback off of you. I'm putting in a shameless plug for the woman Christian CEO book compilation, which I am an author.
Yes.
One of the paragraphs that's in that book from my writing is fear will make you not get out of the boat.
Yes. Yes.
So when Peter got out of the boat, he saw Jesus on the water. And when he saw Jesus on the water, he's like, "Is that you, Jesus?"
Uh-huh.
And he said, "If that's you, bid me to come." So when he got out of the boat, he didn't go under. He stood there, and as he walked, he allowed the fear to come up on him, because he saw all the turbulence all around him. The matrix.
Sight. Don't lose sight.
You have to keep your focus, and that's what happens. We lose focus of the main thing that we're going after, and we allow the things to the left and to the right of us to get our attention and make us sink. And once we sink, the only thing we can do as believers in Jesus Christ, like you said earlier, is say, "Lord, save me."
Wow.
And his head didn't go under. Jesus saved him before he made a full submersion under that water. So you don't have to go all the way under before you allow Jesus to rescue you.
Yeah.
Wow.
If just my ankles go under, save me, Jesus. I don't even want my ankles to get wet. I want to stay on top of the water. So we can't allow the fear of anything that's going on around us to distract us from getting our goal.
Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy. And for me, when I look at failure, I look at it as a staircase.
Yeah.
So you're going up the staircase on your way to success.
Yeah.
But each step is failure.
Mm-hmm.
So you step in on failure to go to success, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, failures is going to happen. So you might as well go out there and do it, right? And this is the thing that has to do with the shifting of the minds, because we don't fully understand that us sitting and not doing something because of failure, or we might fail. I remember when Jesus said he took the talent from this guy because he took it, dug a hole, and buried it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because he didn't want to fail. It was the other ones that took the risk and tried to double it. They were the ones that were exposed to the bigger rewards, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I look at failure as a staircase, and on your way to success, every step is you stepping on failure, because you have to fail in order to get to success, because there are people that I follow that would tell you if you have not lost a minimum of $1 million, they can't partner with you because you don't know what it takes to experience loss on that level.
Mm-hmm.
So when you lose your $1, when you lose your $1, you start crying.
Right.
We don't have no time to baby you, right? No. So, and when the guy told me that, my mind was blown. And then he also told us that he said, we have a business group, but in order to get into it, you have to have at least 3 business.
Mm.
Because we are investors. He said the investments that we do require bigger investments. So if you don't have the revenue, you don't have that amount to invest, they weed you out already.
Wow.
So if you don't have a mindset stressed to say, you know what, I know there's a possibility of failure, but if I can, and one of the things I love is investing, just the stock market and different investments, right? So they call it moderate, conservative, or aggressive, right? Those are that they have. And any of you guys that have a portfolio, that's the question to ask. How much rate risk are you willing to be exposed to, right? So some of us say, can you do the conservative? I want to in my investing, right? Can you just a little bit? But then God is saying, no, go all in, because you might lose it, but you'll never know, and you'll be living with that what if. Nobody's saying be careless, just go out there and doing silly things, but you just have to be in a position where you said failure is inevitable. It's going to happen, right? But do I let it ruin my life? And one thing about failure is if you sit there and just dwell on it, then fear steps in.
Right.
Because they're like peanut butter and jelly, right? They come together because you're sitting there thinking about not failing, and then here comes fear. Like, that's why we're not supposed to do it. We're supposed to take our money and put it under the mattress where it's safe.
Right.
Or in a coffee can.
Right.
And then we don't know that when you do that, you're losing 3% every year just by your money sitting there.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So it's safe, but because of inflation, you have lost 3% on that $100,000 you got under the mattress, right? So that's what fear would do to you. Fear will cause you to lose, right? Because you don't want to fail. So for me and my wife, we talk about that a lot. And believe it or not, my wife is more, I thank God for her, because we have to sit down and break it down and understand our roles, right? We come from the biblical worldview that says Adam and Eve. Adam was given the task to do, but he needed a helpmate, right? And so, voila. So we have to really sit there and understand that our role. Because this is important, because we don't know these things, right? We're living outside of our privilege because we don't know our roles, we don't know who we are. And so when me and my wife had that conversation, and I said, you know what? Everything I say I want to do, she said, let's do it. She don't never say, what if we fail? Sometimes it'd be scary talking to her, because you know how you want somebody to agree with you, like, I had this idea, but I don't know if it's going to work. She said, everything's going to work, but that's her role. She's to help me. And I want to make this clear. I don't want you guys getting emails. No, I don't believe. I'm not saying that, I don't want the feminist group to come after me and say my wife.
We know her. We know you ain't
into submissiveness.
We already know. We already know that. Anybody that's got a question to worry about Mimi, you ain't got to worry. She got things well in check. Trust me.
But that's just a conversation. We have to have it from a biblical perspective, and we had to understand who we were as it relates to how God designed us, right? And we concluded that, and I feel after we had that conversation, this was a couple of years ago, the sky's been the limit, because everything I bring to her, she said, let's do it. When she brings something to me, we work it out. How would it fit?
He's not so open like me.
Right.
I've been saying, I caught
that
that.
is-
That's like, well, wait a minute.
I don't quite like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need You'll be like, I'm gonna need a proposal.
Right.
Make sure it's double spaced.
Write out the pros and cons.
Everything. So Bill, like, according to my calculations, the weather is not right today.
I don't feel it.
Oh man.
Tomorrow, and we'll see. We'll check in on it tomorrow. No, but that's good. That's how we work together like that. So
I love it. I love it.
Like you said, everybody can't work with their spouse like that.
Not
Because I'm the more aggressive one that I don't really fear a whole lot. I'm like, let's just try it. And if it fail, oh well, we can scratch that out and start again. I'll write with a pencil. So I can just erase that and start over.
Yeah.
I'm
good
okay with that. But he's more like Bill. Look, he wants to have, well, let's see how this. No, let's just do it.
Failing is not an option with men. Sometimes failing is not an option with men. They don't want to fail.
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna say all men are like that, but I think for me, I'm very predictable, unfortunately. So some things need to be laid out, and I think that's the thing in this of what we're talking about in fear and failure is sometimes when you're predictable, and that's what it was. I'm predictable. I'm listening to this person and they're telling me what I can't do. And I start thinking about, okay, yeah, I got to do this. I got to do that. Yeah, maybe they were right. So now I'm going to let that, because I'm predictable, let that fear come in. But for her, ain't nothing like that. We're going to charge ahead, and burn everything up. And then, if it burn up, then, well, we'll just build another.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
And so I think it's a good thing of a merger. And that's what it sounds like with you all, that you have that conversation. And that's the good thing I can say about us, that we'll have the conversation. May not go as expected, or it may go as expected, all depending on what it is that we're talking about. But to be able to communicate and talk about it, that when you in a partnership like this is very important. It can't be just one person's goal. Like y'all said earlier, Bill said earlier, you got to get your own plan when it's time to go. I don't know what you're doing, but what I'm doing is, I know he planned, but
Right.
you said right.
You were playing, right?
Okay, I done started something. Wait a minute. But
I like that too.
You got to be able to build this thing together. Yeah. And like we said earlier, the things that are in you will come out. Mm-hmm. And so maybe if there is fear, then the partner can help with that. Yeah. And encourage. Yeah. If it's one that's reckless, then you can talk to the other one and say, "Hey, I get what you're saying, but can we do it? Can we do it in these stages? Whatever you're doing, you're working together to come up with the same goal." Because, like y'all said, I mean, we just a few years ahead of y'all, but we got plans. And I'm gonna tell you a real petty way. I decided. I said, I got to have my stuff together well before it's time to retire.
Let me see, Petty.
I saw this lady in a car, and it was a real nice car that I liked. I think it was one of mine on the list. And this lady looked like she was 90 years old, barely hanging on to the steering wheel. I said, by the grace of God,
Please, Lord.
no way I
Ah,
want to be 80 years old and finally get the car that I want to drive. 80, 90.
Doing your money.
Please, no.
Yeah.
about need to get your license taken away.
I don't want to do that. I want to be able to live, to enjoy, to experience,
Right.
to share, to bless. You know, just like I said, that's why I love you all so much, because everything that you're doing, you're not just doing for you. You're doing it so that other people can come up
Yes.
at the same time with you. If you know, it's just like Lecrae say, everybody in this crew gonna eat.
Yeah.
You know, and it looks different to different people, but if we all together, we all gonna eat.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
We say a similar thing, but we get it from paying forward. Everybody
Yeah, everybody
beef.
eats, son.
Well,
I wanted to add to the fear. I'm sorry, you can finish what you were just going to say, but I just wanted to add to the fear as well. Some people have a fear of making money too, because we never seen it when we was growing up. So that's another piece of fear that people have. They don't want the success because they scared they might not be able to maintain it, might not be able to do right by it, or just because they never had it, they don't know what to do with it. And it goes back to burying your talent again.
Yeah.
That's something we had to work on a couple of years ago, because when you hear these large amounts being thrown out, $1 million, $2 million, a multi-million-dollar business, you think it's a lot. It really isn't. But because of our mindset, and a lot of us are millionaires on paper, we just don't know it, right? Because the house you got, whatever else you have as far as your portfolio and 401, if you combine that, you're a millionaire on paper.
Right.
You might not have it, but if you liquidate that your assets, it's $1 million, right? But growing up, it's been proven psychologically that what you see in your house and how money is handled has a part to play in you taking these risks, right? Because business in itself is a risk, because you can keep your 9 to 5 safe, secure job, or you want to leave that and start a business. You see what I'm saying? So even start business in itself is a risk that you have to take. One thing I wanted to add with the fear is my wife and I, we kind of had to understand early on that um, my some of the things that I experienced as far as fear, she was able to link up with me, touch and agree, and we're able to overcome those things. So with us, fear now uh, is not an issue. What is an issue now is how can we make these plans? Like I said, we have outside of cleaning, this cleaning company, we have four other industry we want to tap into. So now, when we say we're making plans, we know we're laser sharp, so we know what we want, right? So when we talk about making this plan or how is that going to fit, it's like we know what we're supposed to do to execute this. How does that fit in this now? So even with the partnerships and the different, just because somebody wants you to partner with them, you have to slow down, ask yourself, how does this benefit me?
Right.
Right? So, like she said in the beginning, we're just accepting everything because we really didn't know our worth, we didn't know our value. So people were still telling us how much we were worth. So we had to get to the place to say, no, we put the value on us, take it or leave it. You see what I'm saying? So for us now, it's really clear that every partnership, every relationship we enter into, we're asking these questions. How does that fit into our overall goal, right? And if it does fit, then we can, they call it power partners. Now we can say, okay, we can partner with you because we feel you will help us fulfill this. So even when it comes to us and hey, you want to do this, we're like, no, let's stay focused on one thing, or how is this gonna help us overall meet the goal? So I won't say it's necessarily is fear. I think it's because you know what it is that you're looking for. Now you're laser sharp, laser focused. So now you're able to kind of eliminate certain things so you don't waste your time.
Right.
But that's a different animal because that's one thing we do a lot. We waste our times on things that don't benefit us, things that are not taking us to our purpose, things that are not impacting our purpose.
Right.
So
Right.
you have to literally know that when people ask you to do certain things, like, I would love to, and right now it's not a good time. So no has to be a part of you combating fear or what's the other word we're talking about? Failure. To be saying no, not right now, or maybe later on. So
Right.
I want to make that clear. So that was what we're talking about when I said she will ask something and vice versa. Like, okay, wait, let's slow down. What are we working on right now, and how does that help us get to point A?
There has to be some wisdom in there. I get what y'all saying. Like, yeah, let's go, let's do everything, but there is some wisdom. We ain't just, I know, excited about everything. We're just doing it.
You're right. I'm the action person, and Bill is the researcher. So Bill, I'm like, let's go. We can do it. Bill, like, hold up. Let's think about it first. Might not be so. So you're definitely right. You got to use wisdom.
Definitely. In all things, get wisdom. And all that getting, get understanding. Because wisdom is the principal thing.
Right.
So we didn't danced around it. So let's talk about your guys' talk show, The Man Hour. Give folks, because I mean that's where y'all be really putting some meat on some bones for people anybody that's listening right now, or if you're going to be checking this out later on YouTube or our Facebook page, learn about this Man Hour that they share nuggets for anybody that wants to be an entrepreneur. So go on that a little bit. I know we're coming up close on the hour, but man, right now we ain't even scratched no surface. So y'all go ahead.
Okay, so last year we started this mingling and networking events, and that's when it was called the Man Hour. It's now called the Work Hour, where we put in a good work hour on a live event, and we, it's very impactful with the information that we are giving to other entrepreneurs that are just thinking about it, or want to start, or is at that point where it's like, what's the next level? They're able to come on and ask questions about that. And it's so crazy. I'm just thinking about that now. A lot of people, mingling and networking, it seemed like it was a fad back then when we were trying to make it something continuously.
Right.
We're the only ones that I know that are still going. A lot of people were having mingling networking events going on, and people were showing up, drinks, everything, like just to network with business. But since this pandemic, we have still been able to, maintain a networking status with other entrepreneurs and being impactful to other entrepreneurs as well that want to become entrepreneurs, or just, don't know where to start or anything like that. And we've been able to help quite a few people along on their journeys. So we, the Work Hour, we get established entrepreneurs to come on the show where they can give a little bit of information, and a lot of times they give very good information on entrepreneurship, how they started, what their business is, and tell us how to do it too if we have questions as well. We don't know it all, but we believe in not just holding all the information into ourselves. Excuse me. Not holding in all the information to ourselves. We want to give what we know, because when starting with entrepreneurship, it does not come with a manual. Just like marriage, it don't come with a manual, but you figure it out. And in our business, we learn, like Bill said, we learned our roles. Bill is a researcher. For me, I am a worker. I'm an action goer. I am, so we work with each other. Go get her, get her done. So we learned our roles with each other like that. And that's how we are able to work with one another. When you know your role, then you're able to not clash and have so many button heads and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, with the entrepreneurship, I mean, with the work hour, we're able to do that and put that information out there like that for others. And we always recommend it to people because you can go back and look at those videos and get a lot of good information step by step, how to start your business.
Mhm.
Like you said, we even, we put out there, don't write the plan for too long. You gotta have to
Right.
damn, right? Can't keep writing the plan talking about Lord. Well, when you put this business started,
Come on.
when we first started, I wish I can go back and find those papers. It's probably like a binder full. I wrote the plan so many times, like after work, just sitting there in my car. And I told my husband, like, this right here is for the birds. Running up and down. I was a traveling phlebotomist, going up and down this road, Placerville to the Bay Area and things like that, just working, chasing the dollar once again.
Yeah.
So, when you're over that and you had enough, that's a whole another story. What you got to say about
I
the
think
work hour?
everything she said is on point because one of the things about entrepreneurship is you have to be an innovator, right? So right before this COVID thing kind of hit, when we were doing the man hour, we were actually doing it in person. You guys came a few times, and we started to see how we were actually. We had a great partnership with the place we're doing it at, but the expenditure started to become where we didn't want to start taxing people, and so we kind of sat back and kind of looked at it and said, okay, we want to continue it, but how can we do it to where it's not us trying to constantly charge? And the companies that kind of came on board to help us it was awesome partnerships. They were donating and making sure that the expenses were free. Was buying food and was making sure people was comfortable. But I think the beginning of the year we pivoted, and I think that's what kind of saved us. We started doing it Facebook Live because
That's our niche once again.
and that's the thing I'm saying. You got to constantly innovate, right? You got to constantly pivot. If not, you will not make it. So if we had not pivoted when we did, we probably wouldn't be here talking right now. We would have been laying dormant somewhere. So for us, the work hour now has become this thing where we want to be able to interview. That's the biggest part of it is doing the interviews with different experts on different subject matters because we don't know it all, but we can bring not just entrepreneurs, but we can bring on different experts that can give us the building blocks. So one of the things we did 2 months ago was just categorize and group it in threes. So we said from our experience is you want to start it, and then the next phase is building, right? And then the last phase we believe is maintenance, right? Now this is something we came up with to kind of group it, and as an entrepreneur you can find yourself in any one of those stages. So what that does now for your mind is, okay, well, I started already. I think I might be in the building stages, right? Or I've been in the building stages. I think I need to transition into the maintaining stages. What do I need?
Yeah.
So we grouped it like that. So now we are able to speak to the people that's starting, people that's building, and people that's maintaining. So now we're able to kind of bridge those gaps, and then it's a holistic approach because we don't want to just said this, that, and the other. We want to be able to have your spiritual side fed, your physical, your health, your mental, because all of those things is important as an entrepreneur, right? If you're making all this money, but mentally you're not there, it's not good to you or anybody else, or physically you're in bad shape. Then it's like, okay, how can we help you? So it's a global movement. It's not just here in Sacramento. We started here, but one of the main reasons we started to do the live things is to be able to bring on other people from different part of the world to interview them. Right. And so we got some good interviews. We're lining up from other parts of the world for those people to show you that this journey, yes, is different places, but is some of the fundamentals are the same, right? Fundamentally, some certain things are still the same. So it is very involved. And this year we just been really focusing on being consistent, doing them monthly, and so we haven't missed a month yet, thank God. But it's hard because you're creating content, and any content creator will tell you that there are some research that has to be involved to make sure that what you're saying is right, is accurate, and the people you're bringing on, you got to make sure they're vetted.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so the work hour for us is just a leg of an overall vision that God has given us that we really feel that's where we want to end up. So it's going to be powerful, and we want to thank those that's been supporting us, that's been following us, liking us, and we would just say stay tuned. We got some things coming, and we definitely want to make sure that we're adding value to you and your business.
So let them know that it's on Facebook, the work hour. That's how they would look it up.
Hours. So red and black logo when you look it up on Facebook.
And how often do you come on?
We come on monthly, but we also put different information. We try to like update it daily if we can, if not weekly. But we try to, even supporting other people's businesses, putting your information on our group page. We just like this. It's all about entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Right.
Even right. I like the work hour too, because sometimes some people in entrepreneurship, we get stagnant sometimes where you like stuck and you don't know. And it just takes one person to give you that one idea and be like, that's what I've been missing this whole time.
Yeah.
You hear it and you be like, oh, okay. And then you're able to move forward with your business instead of just staying stuck.
Yeah.
And I think that was good. You guys said it, you had to pivot, but I enjoyed the interactions that we had because of that very thing that you just said. You're sitting there and you're listening to a person talk about their business, and then they say something, and it's like
that light bulb.
Oh, I got it. I could have did that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me go back and write that out or go and research that. So that's good.
Yeah. So we had a question that came through. If you don't mind answering a question.
Of course.
In either of your business or all of your businesses, how do you handle clients that expect discounts?
We can give a little. I mean, I can give some, and then Bill can give some as well. For me, I love a discount. So business, we try to put ourselves in the customer's shoes, as well. Not just think of it from we trying to get money or anything like that. If they want a discount, we'd be more than happy to give you a discount. We were when we first started, we used to give so many kind of discounts. If you was an elderly, let's give the mother a discount. We was giving a discount. Any kind of discount. We love giving discounts like that. Obviously don't overdo it or anything, but that's another thing. When you come to know who you are, you don't have to give a discount just because people want a discount.
Right.
Like that,
I think it's and I'm not assuming that's the question, but some people, they have that expectation that they see you come in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And we look alike, so
yes.
I know you're gonna.
Brother, sister.
I know you're gonna take care of me. I know you're gonna take care of me.
Help us, sister, out.
And I'm gonna take care of you, but I'm gonna take care of you at the hourly rate that I charge.
That's right. That's right. That goes for family too.
Yeah,
I think it goes both ways, because you want a discount, but you don't give me a tip, right? Because think about it though.
Talk about it.
We're known for that, and we have to kind of evolve as well, because we were those individuals won't go to a restaurant with tip you based on your performance,
or
right?
Don't tip at all.
Or don't tip. That's
Denny's,
what based on your performance.
Denny's had our picture back there in the back, like.
Yeah, because if we go and we feel we got a lousy service, it just justifies why we wouldn't tip you, right?
Yeah.
But now we're in the service business. To me, it's a given.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the work you put in, right? Yeah, they give you hourly, but most of the time their tip is what's going to kind of cover the rest of everything else. So discounts for us, we have grown out of it because to me, you're watering down your value,
Yeah.
right? So I want to be very clear here. We still, however, give senior discounts and some veteran discounts because we feel the services they have provided and who they are is warrants that. We don't have to do nothing, but just because you expecting to give you a discount, we passed that stage, right? Like my wife said, we were giving it because we didn't know exactly who we were, and not only that, our hearts. So we had to kind of balance it and say, you know what, we're not here to, because then you'll be giving free service. Some of the equipment and things we have to do the job right, these equipment, and when we purchased them, they didn't give us no discount, but you had to buy it. I mean, we got tens of thousands of dollars in equipment that we have to pay regular price for. So you got it to make a profit. You didn't get it to eat your profit, because that's what you do essentially when you're giving all these discounts.
Yeah.
So I would say to that person, if I come into your place of business, it shouldn't be a discount. It should be, here's a tip. Thank you. Right? Because now I know your value, because you do not go to Mr. Apple Computers and say, I need that new MacBook or that new Pro 11, whatever it is, and can you give me a discount? Apple don't even, they're gonna look at you like, you better get out my store.
We don't even get it.
Let me be the first to tell you that, being that I own a lot of Apple products and I professionally work on a lot of Apple products, and I talk to vendors all the time, all day, every day. And that is one of the things that they will tell you. Out of all the companies at one point that we worked with, now our office is strictly Apple. Everything's Apple. But before we had Samsung, Blackberries, that kind of stuff. You could get away with that with them. You could leverage the actual company, not the carriers, and say, hey, give us some type of discount. Now with Apple told them this how much, and Apple told them this how much you gonna sell it for.
And guess what now? Exactly. No, I was saying now Apple is worth $2 trillion. They are the most valued company in all the world. So they didn't get that status by giving discounts, right? So I think it goes back to what my wife said earlier is, would you want to water down the value, or do you want to continue to retain that value? Because there's not just Apple that does it, right? You got all these big name brands, Mercedes,
Nike,
these big cars manufacturers, Rolls Royce. You don't go over there talking about, can you give me 50? You better come knowing who they are, right? The brand is so strong that, they don't even advertise. So that should let you know that their value is not going to be watered down. So I would encourage that person that asked the question, if somebody come and is expecting a discount, it might be an issue they have with themselves trying to devalue you. And so you really have to stand your ground and say you either pay the regular price, or you know what I'm saying, you can go next door and see if they'll give you a discount. Because if you are supporting me,
true, though.
if you
go next door, they give a discount next door.
That's a cold piece of work right there.
Seriously. We do so many trainings, and when we first started out, we did a training, and the message is basically know your value, and you don't always have to give it a discount. Basically, like you say, you devalue yourself if you give a discount. Can you go to your dentist office and be like, I know I need these braces for all these crooked teeth, but can you give me a discount? They're gonna look at you and be like Bill said, next door, they might be going on, but we don't have a discount like that, and you have to pay what you for what you own, right?
Gotta pay what you owe.
I want to give you guys this last one. We got a call and this lady, she was shopping around for carpet cleaning. So one of the guys referred us. He was like, "Well, I've been doing this too long. My minimum is $75 for one room. So our minimum is $39, right?" And she called us telling us how much she's gonna pay.
Yeah.
So just because she came and approached, it sounded like she was an elderly lady. I was gonna give her the discount, right? But she called and was really rude, expecting a low price, right? Well, quality would not allow us or certain individuals to go this low because of the products, because of the equipment, because of whatever they're using to make sure that you got the quality you're looking for.
Mhm.
So she called and literally was demanding me, telling me how much she's gonna pay. And it was within the price that we usually give to those individuals. But the tone of voice over the phone, I was like, no. I say, I'm sorry, man. We because to me now you really devaluing me at that point.
Right, right.
So if somebody come with that attitude that hey, because I know you or my cousin and them know you, so give me a discount, that's when I'm really gonna be like, you can go try next door, or here's another company that might could give you a discount, right? Because now you gotta retain your value. You have to. As an entrepreneur, as a new business, yeah, you want to get the experience, but after a while, you got to cut that off because you won't make no money.
I
Yeah.
want to add to that too. I'm sorry to say, but sometimes because we are black, people think they deserve a discount. And we actually used to do business, like I said, when we used to do the houses, that just made me think about that. We used to do these houses for an Asian lady, and every time she called us, she wanted a discount because we was black. And the first thing she told me, she should have never told me that. My Mexicans do it for this much. She said, my Mexicans do it for this much.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, you right. You already done said something that
you already did enough already. Now I really know how to charge you now.
yeah.
But she tried to belittle us like that, and she ended up having to still go with us because our credentials, everything we had under us, because we are black. You thought we was just working under ourselves. She thought we was just doing it. You can't find us on Marketplace. We ain't on Marketplace. So we actually have license, bonded, insured, all that stuff. Because we have all that, you got to respect the game.
Right. And I think that's the thing is that we have to make people see us the way we want them to see us.
Right.
Because if not, then they gonna put their own scenario on us.
Right.
You know.
Wow.
Man, y'all threw out the bowls today, boy. Just hooking.
Right.
All right, so we didn't jumped over an hour.
Went by fast too.
Yeah, we might have to we may have to revisit this the work hour part 2 or something like that on another time. But any last words that you want to say to anybody that's looking? I know it's the I didn't coin y'all phrase the SBM now. But is there anything else that you would want to tell folks that want to get started in business?
Just do it.
Yeah, like I said, we have broken it down, made it real easy, and it's just start, build, and maintain. And literally, we want to make sure that everybody understands that. Just start. It's not a perfect start, so don't wait for a perfect start. Just start. That's it.
Yeah.
And how can we catch up with you on social media or otherwise?
I want to also add on to that real fast. It said, don't wait too long to do it neither, or don't feel like, oh, well, somebody already started that already.
Right.
If we did business like that, there's plenty of cleaning companies. Why would you want to go with us? You know, if they're in a bigger league than us, you know what I mean? But don't let that fear overcome you like that. You can find us on Facebook. We have a website, www.giftedhandscleaningservices.com. We're also on Facebook at Gifted Hands Cleaning Services. And we
Okay.
also Instagram page at GH GHC. I think it's GH dash CR services. Yeah, so you can find us there as well on Instagram. We are everywhere. LinkedIn as well. We like to connect with other
You
entrepreneurs.
on LinkedIn too? I didn't know that. Okay. I would have tagged you on. I would have tagged you on my stuff on LinkedIn. Okay. Let me make sure I do that.
We're on there. I mean, and the work hour on Facebook, like you can find us there monthly and daily. We throw little nuggets out there, going live sometimes on there.
Okay.
All right. I don't know where Bill ran off to, but
I know the kids are there.
Our children in the background. We kind of have school night, so we have them with us right now. So I'm like, sit down.
you're so wrong. Well, I'm gonna put y'all in the back, but and then we'll talk to y'all in a second.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We
All right.
appreciate you all for being on our show tonight.
It was nice.
Thank you. Thank you, JoJo.
Yeah, thank you, JoJo.
Or was that Maya?
That was Josiah.
Okay.
All right, we'll see y'all in a second.
Hang on.
All right, y'all. Whew, man, you talk about full information pack.
Lots of information, not just from them, but even from you that are watching. Thank you all for your interaction on tonight. Just really so much information that if you are a budding entrepreneur, if you're thinking about starting or you're already in it, which level are you in? Are you in the starting? Are you in the build? Are you maintaining?
Yeah.
So, whatever position you find yourself in, just do it with all of your might. There's always a network of people that can help you go to the next levels. I also want to give a plug to Bill. Before we actually became an LLC with F&A Concepts, I was getting ready to pay someone to actually file the paperwork for me. And Bill says, don't have anybody else file that. You can do it. You know how to do that yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, but Bill, he was like, no, you can do it. And I went and did it. And I saved myself a couple $1,000 actually doing it myself. So, they are a great resource. Be sure to follow them on the Gifted Hands platforms on Facebook, on Instagram and LinkedIn, and also the Man Hour on Facebook.
I don't know why I think they're calling it the work hour now, but yeah. But definitely good information tonight.
Yes.
The next episode, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. I actually got a message from our last guest about doing a Zoom poll. So we may
a Zoom poll party.
Well, a Zoom poll party.
For voting for ballots.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also will not be on November the 3rd because that is the first Tuesday.
No.
So we'll be gone for a little while. So I want to definitely make sure we may not do streaming. I'm going to work that out with him. And
we'll post something on our page if you are interested in being a part of the poll and ballot Zoom party, so you can get more information on the different measures, on the different now I'm lost for words.
Propositions. Is that the word you want it now?
Just information. We're not going to tell you how to vote. That is not our prerogative or our desire. You need to vote what makes sense to you and what your passions are and your values are.
Yeah. So. But we want this platform to be informative and to give you as much information with everything, not just voting, but everything that we can spiritually as well as naturally. We want to be able to provide you with information. So I'm going to be working that out. So
stay tuned and come back to Fred and Angela Jackson on Facebook to get the information about the Zoom party so we can give you the link.
Yeah. Also, as you see at the top of the screen, we want you to subscribe to our Facebook channel. You can go back and look at some of these conversations. We have some other things on that page. Us doing a little
YouTube.
praise. Yeah,
You said
YouTube.
Facebook.
So I said Facebook.
Yes, you did.
Oh Lord.
Subscribe to our YouTube
page. Oh,
and
God,
I'm
help
say
me.
it too.
Help me,
YouTube.
Lord. Help me. Yeah, but you can look at old conversations. There's some praise and worship on there.
It's a little mix.
Yeah, it's a little bit of mix of everything. But subscribe and tune into our channel. Also, as we are a small business as well, be sure to go to our website, which is www.faconceptsllc.com. And peruse through if there's something that we can do in promoting your business by building a website, by doing content, social media marketing. Give us a holler and let us know. We're here to help and bring your vision to destiny.
Oh,
Lord,
we messed up on that. We'll get it tightened up. We'll get it tightened.
See, we Mimi and said we ain't on the same page. We gotta get on the same page. Lord Jesus.
But you're right, it is destiny. I don't know what I was thinking.
Lord Jesus.
But thank you all for joining. Oh, and before I end, I'm going to put another plug in. I am taking pre-orders for the book compilation. The books are $20.
Right.
Please contact me or send me a DM, instant message on Facebook, on Messenger, or on Instagram, whichever platform you choose, and you can pre-order your book from me.
I think that's what we might do for you. We might do a special when is the actual?
It's November 7th.
It's November 7th.
It's on Zoom, so you can purchase to participate in that as well.
Okay.
It's $25 to come on the live Zoom, where you will see all of the authors give their testimonials and provide some training, insight, information on their business or how they became an entrepreneur. So I think I might have a couple of segments in there for both of the businesses that I'm in. Like Bill was saying, you got to have multiple businesses.
Multiple. We're trying to work it out.
Yes.
We started late, but we're trying to catch up with Fury and Fire. Yeah, Lord.
Fury and Fire?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Something like that.
Okay.
We coming. We coming. How about that?
Guns a blazing.
Yeah, we coming. It's a song that Ice Cube sings. Y'all don't get all nervous and beat up.
Ice Cube, huh?
Ice Cube, that's right.
Ice Cube.
And he talks about here he come. So here we come. We coming. We coming. Because I'm trying to leave state work early if possible. So here we come.
Me too.
So once again, thank you all.
Appreciate you all.
We're grateful that you're hanging with us and that you're joining. Once again, we hope that the content blesses you.
And take our name down for a minute if you can.
Oh, let me see if I can take. Yeah, she wants to show off.
We repping. We repping.
Let's see let me see if it'll let me get rid of it.
I think you got to put a space there though. You have to put a space.
Yeah, put a space there?
Yeah, because it won't let you do it. Just
kind
or dot. Just put a dot.
Lord Jesus. There's a dot.
Oh, can you see? So I'm repping DC Wonder Woman, and he's repping DC Superman. We got our superhero shirts on today.
I'm trying to do that work hour stuff. But no, we thank you all for tuning in. We hope that there was something that was said that encourages, inspires, and ignites you to be your best, to be your great that you are, because you are great. Don't let nobody else tell you any different. You are great, and you can do great things. So we just look out. We'll be sending something out. I know it's a little unusual. The actual next official one that I'm thinking we may be doing that one off site, and that'll be different.
Yes.
So we're working on
Looking
something
forward to it
for Thanksgiving that you all can appreciate.
Yes.
So hang tight with us. Keep up on our social pages to see what's going on. And until next time, y'all be blessed.